Ayo, what it do YouTube? It's your boy Alvin MB10 aka AMR10, and what I got for you today is some NBA 2K24 Next Gen. Now, the build that I have for you today happens to be the best Kristaps Porzingis build out there. For those of you who've been watching for a while, you will know I did say this man would be an X factor in the Celtics possibly winning a ring, and in game 1 he showcased it. So anyway, getting straight into the build, Kristaps Porzingis is right-handed, jersey number 8, and is the starting center for the Boston Celtics. Now, height-wise, he does come in at about 7'3", but for the sake of this build and making it usable, we did put this down to 7'2". He does come in at a weight of approximately 240 pounds, but we need a 48 XL on this build, in which case we needed to drop it down to 237. Technically, we could have dropped it down to 238, but we went 237. And then on the wingspan side of things, he does come in with a 7'6" wingspan, but as you can see, shooting-wise, that doesn't really replicate his shooting capability. So we dropped this all the way down to about 7'3". Now, before we get into the skill breakdown for this build, I do gotta say thank you for all the support you've been showing to the channel. It is highly appreciated. However, if you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as turning post notifications on. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more content like this, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. And down below in the comment section, tell me, who do you have winning game 2? Is it going to be the Boston Celtics, or will it be the Dallas Mavericks? Because low-key, I see this going to no more than 6 games in this series. But hey, that's just me. Also, let me know whether you want to see a no money spent series, because I have been thinking of one, but yeah, just need to know whether to post it. So starting off with the finishing, we decided to go with an 83 when it comes to the close shot. Largest part of this is we were being influenced by the fact that we wanted to get fast twitch at least silver, as well as hook specialist at least gold. This comes into the fact that we went with an 85 on the post control. Key reasons here being I wanted to get Hall of Fame post fade phenom and hook specialist at least gold, as well as being able to get this build at least silver unpluckable. And then when it came to the standing dunk, decided to go with an 81 because we did want to get rise up at least a high enough tier. And then we went with a 68 when it came to the driving dunk, because this does mean that we can get slithery, I believe. No, sorry, bunny. And then a 60 on the driving layup, just to round things out. Now, as you can see, just by looking at the finishing, the aim of the build is when you're close to the rim off a rebound, you can still have the ability to go up. Driving dunk wise, you're not the greatest, but you're good enough whereby you can still slam it home. With the standing dunk, if you get yourself a nice little offensive rebound, you have a better chance of rising straight up above a defender. And then obviously with the high post control, you can play out of the post as much as you want, making this build somewhat of a post fade beast. Now, rounding this up, I'm going to do the physicals next, just because they do apply the majority of the badges when it comes to the finishing. So stamina wise, put this all the way out to a 97. Vertical gave this build at least a 70 on the vert, because again, as I said, we were trying to get rise up at least a decent tier. And then when it came to the strength, decided to put this all the way up to an 84, because we were aiming on getting a bunch of key badges here that I'll go through later, which you can see now being bulldozer, immovable enforcer, and then of course we're going to get box out, beast, and post lockdown. And then excel wise, as I said, we maxed this out at a 48, which was the key reason for dropping the weight down to 237. And then when it comes to speed, you want to put this up to about 43. Technically speaking, speed only went up based off of what I did with the other attributes, key one being speed with ball. So I didn't really tweak it, the other attributes did. Now, shooting wise, as I said, we brought his wingspan down from 7'6" to 7'3", just because at 7'6", it doesn't show the touch that Kristaps has when extending the floor. Like, the man has a nice touch shooting the 3-ball as well as a deep mid-range jumper. So we decided to give him an 82 when it came to the 3-ball, because of course this does mean that you get some nice key badges in gold claymore, silver corner specialist, and silver catch and shoot, as well as silver blinders. And then when it came to the mid-range jump shot, decided to put this all the way up to an 86, because it meant that we could get the badges at a higher tier. For example, we could get Hall of Fame post fade phenom, which was a big deal for me on this build, because this is meant to be an elite post scoring build. We of course get silver deadeye for the high mid-range, and then we get silver blinders, gold dream shake, catch and shoot, and open looks. These open looks and post fade phenom were the 2 key things that I wanted to get on this build, because again, this is meant to be a stretch 5 that can also play in the post. So with open looks, off a driving kick, you open, you knock it down, and with post fade phenom at Hall of Fame, if you do get the ball in the post, you have the capability of being able to knock it down in a way that, yeah, they'll just have to W. Now, free throw wise, we did leave it at a 63. Again, this was due to the fact that we had spread the attribute points as we could. Pass accuracy, put this all the way up to a 77, because we wanted to get at least bronze needle threader as well as silver post playmaker. Key reasons being, if you're playing out the post with this build, which you most likely will be, you want to have a higher percentage on passes made out of the post, because you might get trapped. And of course, needle threader increases the likelihood of a tough pass that can get by the defense. Now, you do also get silver break starter, which is nice on any big man build, because once you crash that glass, you do want to kick it out to your leaking point guards or guards. And then when it came to the ball handle, decided to put this all the way up to a 62, because we did want to get big driver on this build, as well as giving it a speed with ball of a 48, because again, I was chasing big drivers. The reason that I lowered the weight in order to be able to get the acceleration, the speed with the ball, and the ball handling capabilities of being able to get silver big driver, because as it says, increases the chance of a blow by when attacking close to the basket. Again, you find yourself in a situation backed up near the basket, you can easily face up, use this badge, and get straight by the defender. Now, we're going to get into the real nitty-gritty part of this build, which happens to be the best part of this build, which is the defense. Now, defensively, this build is, in my personal opinion, impeccable, because it firstly comes off with an 88 on the interior defense, which, of course, with the high strength means that we managed to get gold workhorse and gold post lockdown. Now, you're looking at anchor thinking, what tier anchor do we actually manage to get on this build? Well, technically, we managed to get ourselves at least silver anchor on this build. Not silver, sorry, gold, because we get a 92 when it comes to the block. And then when it comes to the perimeter and interior, the perimeter defense and the steal, we didn't touch these because, again, these are two things that as a center, you shouldn't find yourself at the perimeter having to guard like that. But if you do, I'm not gonna lie, you're cooked. But rebounding wise, this is where people might say, oh, you're being a bit of a slouch, a center should have a higher rebounding. But we went with an 83 on the defensive board and a 75 when it came to the offensive board. Key reasons being, if you look at Kristaps Porzingis' game, the man averages about 7 to 8 rebounds a game or per season. Like, he's not an elite board crasher. He's more of a guy who just offensively gives you, like, he pushes you over the top, and then rebounding wise, he crashes the glass where he needs to be, but he pushes you over the top offensively, and defensively he does his thing protecting the rim. Now, as you can see, this build is well balanced in the fact of it comes with great shooting, really good finishing around the rim, elite defense, and then of course when it comes to playmaking with the high post control, you have that silver unpluckable, which means you won't get picked, but you also have a high enough passer rating whereby you can really move the ball around if you need to. Now, the players that we managed to get in the shades of for this build ironically happen to all be players that play this way in Brook Lopez, Kristaps Porzingis, and Chet Holmgren. The name of the build, of course, is a two-way 3-level threat, which I personally feel makes a little bit of sense, but hey, I was hoping for something a little bit better. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and the build that you see in front of you. As I said, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more content like this, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn post notifications on. And lastly but not least, in the comment section, do me a favor, let me know who's going to win game 2. Let me know what you think about the build, and let me know whether you want to see a no money spent series. Because yes, I know we were doing the LeBron run and scrapped it, but ladies and gentlemen, I might have made the best guard build I possibly can make, and it might just be funny enough for no money spent. But yeah, it's been your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.